I've been wanting to make a video about how to get back into art. I want to reflect on how much my art productivity changed throughout the year. Last year wasn't the most productive for me art-wise. Sometimes work and life gets in the way and there's no energy to work on personal art. I think this was probably the longest I've been without drawing often. Of course I would draw things, it's what I do, and sometimes I might have sketched random things, but in general there were very few pieces that I drew simply because I felt like it. So this year I was decided to change that. I'm not saying doing something every day, but at least once a week, even if it's small. If not once a week, at least once or twice a month. In 2 or 3 months I already drew more than the whole year before that. Not only that, but I felt a huge development in my art. The way I use colors, how I draw my lines, and even how I organize and paint a piece. All in all, I started to challenge myself. I wasn't trying to do perfect drawings. Instead, I was trying new things. With this, I finally felt that I had a style to call mine, instead of several different little styles. So what I wanted to talk about today is how to get back into art and how I did it. It's very easy to say, yes, let's get back at it. But the truth is that we're rusty. The pencil now feels clumsy in our hands. And we think to ourselves, wow, how does one draw? I know I used to do it, but it feels like I forgot how to do it. I know that it's very hard to get back at it, especially because it feels like you don't know how to draw anymore. Well, first of all, it's natural. Drawing is a habit, so if we stopped, it's more than natural that we'll feel rusty. It doesn't mean that we lost the skill. It's still there, we just need to clean up the dust out of it. I also want to point out that it's perfectly okay to take a break from drawing. Life happens or we're just not feeling it, and that's fine. Once you're ready, you'll get back in drawing and it's going to be fun again, I promise you. So that's why my first tip is to just take it easy. It's been days, weeks, months since you picked up a pencil. It's going to be hard to draw a full, complete and perfect piece right away. Not only that, but you probably won't have the energy for that. It doesn't look like it sometimes, but drawing takes energy, and the more complex and detailed it is, the more energy it will take from you. There's no need to spend 4 hours drawing, take it slow. Take 1 hour every day to draw. And you know what? Maybe even 1 hour is too much right now. So take 30 minutes or even 15 minutes to draw. That's more than enough, and as you get more used to drawing, you can have longer sessions. This is just like when you want to get back to exercise. You won't run a marathon right away, you just can't. So you start going for small runs and growing from there. The same goes for drawing. Draw simple sketches, there's no need for perfect lines. Don't be afraid to be messy with these sketches. You're not looking for perfect or even good drawings. So have fun with them. Do whatever you want. You can also try and redraw some of your old art, for example. Pick up a piece you really like and redraw it. You can even draw on top of the old drawing. This way, you're remembering your process. All in all, just draw whatever comes to your mind. Actually, you don't even need to draw anything in concrete. You can just draw simple and basic shapes. And yes, I mean squares, triangles, hearts, stars, whatever comes to your mind. I do this whenever I open my sketchbook and then I don't really know what to draw. So what do? I scribble shapes, sometimes even lines, creating a labyrinth. Most of the times I end up with nothing, others it ends up as a cute pattern. But that's it, I don't really do anything else with these shapes. I actually have quite some fun doing these labyrinths, even if I have no goal for them. At least I'm practicing my lines and doing some warm-up. The important thing is that I picked up the pencil and drew something. It's already helping me getting back into drawing and leaving that rustiness behind. Another example, you can pick up your markers, paints or any other tools and start adding random blotches of color into a page of your sketchbook. Don't think too much on this, just move your hands around the page and let the magic happen. It's quite a nice and relaxing exercise, and afterwards you can even pick your pencil or pen, look at those blotches and shapes, and try to draw something out of it. I know that drawing shapes or random blobs of color might seem pretty useless, but the truth here is that we're not trying to have a finished piece. We're just warming ourselves up, remembering how the pencil feels in our hands as well as the paper, or even the tablet. It doesn't really matter which media you're using. Be it either traditional or digital, the fact that you're active again means that you're already getting back into art. And who knows, some good ideas might come out of this. Now comes probably the most important tip I have for you. Have no expectations. As I said, it's been some time, so it's normal that your first drawings won't come up to your expectations. The best way to deal with this is to leave those expectations aside for now. Just let yourself enjoy the moment. Getting back is not about making good art. Try to have a positive mindset as you draw. Now, I know this isn't easy, but it's necessary. If you're drawing something and you're not enjoying it, then move on for the next drawing. You won't win anything by continuing a drawing that is frustrating to you. If I'm drawing something and it's not working, whatever I do and change still doesn't bring me joy and is instead ruining my mood, then I'll start from scratch. This is what works for me. Of course, sometimes I do some changes to the drawing that will improve it right away, so it's worth continuing to work on it. On the other hand, if I spend more time fixing and changing things than on progressing with the drawing, then it's time to move on to the next. Next on my list of tips is to draw things that inspire you. Right now, you're not focusing on getting better at art, so you don't need to make anatomy, flower, or building studies, unless that's what inspires you, of course. Draw things that you like. You can take inspiration from colors, images you saw, and draw from there. You can also draw fan art from something you've been reading, watching, or playing lately. Whenever I start getting into a new book, game, or series, I always have the sudden spark of inspiration. This was actually one of the things that helped me getting back into art. I'm not sure I read, played, or watched enough things that inspired me enough to draw last year, so there weren't a lot of things that made me want to draw. This year, however, I started to consume more art, more comics, and things that really inspired me. I always think that consuming art through books, series, movies, and games is very important, because even if we're not drawing at the moment, we're gaining knowledge. You can even grab your sketchbook as you watch something that you really like and do some sketches from it. If you see something that inspires you, take a photo from it and save it for later. Don't just think, oh, that's really beautiful, I'll have to remember that. Today is so much easier to do this. We're almost always with our phones, and even if the camera isn't good, you might be on a walk and you saw something that you think is beautiful and inspires you. Pick up the phone and take a photo. If you're watching a movie or series that inspire you, take photos or screenshots of scenes that you think are especially beautiful. Then have a folder somewhere with all these images, so you can look back from time to time to get new ideas and inspiration for your next drawings. Having visual reference is much easier than trusting our memories to recreate perfectly what we saw. Another thing that you can use is Pinterest. I have tons of boards full of images that I like. Sometimes it's just colors, others it's outfits, sceneries, hairstyles, and so on. These are all things that I'll apply one way or another to my drawings. Sometimes I want to draw my characters in different outfits, and I'll go to my outfits boards and draw the ones I think would look better on them. It's a really fun exercise, and at the same time I'm practicing how to draw clothes. One other good way to get inspired is by following artists that you like. We get inspired by each other. Follow artists that inspire you, interact with them, and participate in drawing challenges. There's often some drawing challenges that artists do among them on social media that you can participate. For example, the Draw This in Your Style hashtag on Instagram, the Let Me Draw Your OCs in My Style on Twitter, there's Childhood Week, which are prompts during a week, there's Inktober. These challenges brings us together and it's fun to see what each person can create. So don't be afraid to interact with others and have fun with such prompts and challenges. Now, it's fairly common for us to compare our art to other artists. Avoid falling into this trap, especially if you're just trying to get back into art. It's good to follow and see other artists' work, but to use as motivation and to inspire ourselves, never to compare. We all have different journeys and are at different stages of it. That artist that you're comparing yourself to has probably twice or even more of the years on drawing than you. Learn with them and get inspired by them. Finally, we come up to my last tip, which is take care of yourself. If you're not feeling well physically or even mentally, then it's very hard to focus on drawing. Be sure to take breaks when drawing, drink water and have a snack or two. Feeling energetic will help with being more motivated to draw, so be kind to you and your body. I feel that when I don't get enough sleep or there's just too much happening at the moment, I can't focus on drawing. It's really hard for me. Those days I'll try not to force it and focus on getting some rest so I can get back at it at full force. Now, this might sound weird, but one way I have to feel more energetic and motivated is by exercising a bit in the morning. I have to say, I'm not someone who even enjoys exercising. I have to find new things all the time or listen to some podcasts, otherwise I get bored with it. But I found out that when I do exercise in the morning, my productivity is much better. I feel more motivated to draw and get less distracted with things around me. It's very important to know yourself and understand the best way to get yourself motivated. So try to find little tricks that change your day and makes you feel more energetic. I think this is all I have to say about getting back into drawing. We never fully stop drawing and we never forget how to do it. We're just rusty. So remember to take it slow and easy and have fun with it. Soon it will feel like you never stopped drawing. I hope this video was helpful for you. Feel free to share in the comments other tips that you use to get back at drawing. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and as always, keep on drawing.